I've got the Hollyland Pyro H wireless video transmission system delivered to my home. Let's unbox this and I'll tell you a few things about this particular product, because I'm sure that unless you're a professional videographer or working in a video production field, you will hardly know about what a video transmission system is. So basically, to transmit HDMI signals over a very long distance. For example, if you have a PlayStation in one room and then you have a TV that is there around 200 or 300 meters away from your PlayStation, and you want the HDMI signal from your PlayStation to be transmitted to that TV that is around 200 meters away, you have a few options to choose from. First of all, your normal HDMI cable will not run that long distance because there will be a lot of lag and there will be loss of signal. So the maximum distance that a normal HDMI cable can travel is around 20 meters. Anything beyond that, you might have to depend on other means of doing it. First means is to depend on an optical HDMI cable. So an optical HDMI cable is something that is made of an optical fiber. So both the ends will have HDMI, but the wire will be constructed out of optical fiber, due to which it can run longer distances, and you can utilize that for distances up to 100 to 200 meters typically. But they are pretty expensive. I think if you calculate it in Indian money, approximately per meter it will be around 150 rupees, which will mean that for 100 meters it will be 15,000 rupees, and for 200 meters it will be 30,000 rupees. So that's option number one. The option number two is to rely on LAN cables and then use a LAN to HDMI transmission system, converter system to get that done. So you will have a transmission end encoder, and then at the receiver end you will have a decoder. So in the transmission end it will take the HDMI signal and convert it into LAN signals, and then it will run it through a huge LAN cable, and then on the other end you can have a decoder which will take the LAN output and then convert it into HDMI signals. The third option is to use a wireless video transmission system. So typically you have cheaper solutions, that is cheaper than Holyland, but if you are doing live streaming, or if you have multiple cameras that are set up and then you want to receive all the feed from the different cameras without much lag, then you have to depend on solution like this, the product like Hollyland Pyro H, which can transmit HDMI signals up to 300 meters in a line of sight. So line of sight means your transmitter and the receiver should be in the same line of sight and there should not be anything that is blocking the view, and the lag will be very, very minimal. So that is this particular product. So again, first of all, let's unbox it, and before that we'll look at the box. It's written Pyro H over here. You have the Holyland branding, and it says that it's video transmission system, wireless video transmission system. It can one transmitter can take up to or give signals up to 4 receivers, and it can do 4K, and it can do 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz signal. So that's the frequency at which it operates. On the bottom here, on the side here, you have the Pyro H branding, and it says it's made to inspire. That's nice. Then on this side also you have the Pyro H branding. Again, it says made to inspire, and at the bottom you have a few information over here. So the first one is that it's imported by Quasar Solutions, and it is from Noida, and the model is, like I told, Hollyland Pyro H. And the MRP, as they have written over here, they have said that it is 35,990. And I've got this product for 29,000 rupees from Amazon. So that's the cost with which I have bought it. So over here, again, it has a branding and the model name and so on and so forth. And here, again, a couple of barcodes over here. And it also says United Arab Emirates for some reason. I'm not sure why it says that. And finally, you have the social media handles over here. So let's unbox this particular product and see what is inside. Alright, so first up here you have the quick guide, says Pyro H over here, and it says quick guide version 1, and then just below that it says that this is the after sales card. This is probably something that you should have if you are going for claiming warranty and all. So pretty important stuff. Make sure to keep this safe. Again, there are a lot of paperwork over here, pretty interesting, so we will just throw that away. And yeah, so over here you have the hot shoe mount. So let me quickly unbox this and show you what this. Alright, so this thing is typically used to mount it onto your camera hot shoe mount. So here the camera will have a hot shoe mount at its top, and you can tighten this particular area onto that hot shoe mount, and on top of this you can mount the transmitter which should be near the camera. Then you have the USB-A to USB-C converter, pretty important thing. Then this is, I think this is the transmitter, sorry, this is the receiver. So this should be on the end where you want to receive the signal. So for example, if you are going to transmit your camera feed from your camera to a laptop that is around 200 meters away from your camera, the transmitter, which is this one, should be mounted and connected to your camera, and this one should be mounted and connected to your laptop or whatever encoder that you're using. So on top you have a couple of antennas, again 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz signal it supports. Similarly on the side you can see that it's written that it is a receiver, and you have a display over here. I'll show you how it works in a while. And similarly, like, you have the toggles, buttons to toggle this, and then on off button. And finally here you can power this thing using USB 5 volt 2 ampere it says. So that's USB-C connection which is required to power this thing up. Or what you can do is you can use the Sony battery that you typically use for all these video production systems. That can also be mounted over here. Similarly, you have the option to give SDI connections over here. So if your camera only has an SDI connector, you can connect it through SDI signal. And similarly, you have the HDMI out here as well. This is what you will be connecting to your laptop. So you also have the button to release the battery if at all you're going to use the battery. Now similarly, this one is the receiver, I beg your pardon, the transmitter. So just for quick identification, the receiver will be blue and the transmitter will be red. Pretty similar thing. On top you have the antennas. It's written TX over here, so that's also an identifier. Similarly, display and the connector selector, on off button and power, very similar to how you have in the receiver, the battery area and the release button for battery. Here you have a couple of things. The SDI out connection is there, and similarly you have the HDMI in, so this should be near your camera. So either you can use the HDMI in, and then you have a HDMI loop out as well. So let's keep that aside. So down here they've given 5 antennas. I think it could have been better if they would have provided a couple of more antennas, but they've just provided an extra just one. In case you lose one, you'll be fine, but if you lose more than one, then probably you'll have to go and buy new antennas. So let me quickly show how to connect this camera, so the antenna. So basically you will unscrew this and you will rotate it like this. So this is how it goes. Similarly, like, you will have to mount the other remote the antenna as well, and then you can start using it. So we'll cut the video here. We will also show you how it works, how you can turn on, and how it automatically connects. So this is a test of the Hollyland transmitter and receiver video transmission system that I have bought. So I have my cameraman set up over there. So he has been given with the video transmitter, and over here I have set up my encoder and the receiver. Let me show you the receiver. The antenna that you see there is the receiver. So I have my receiver set up over here, and like I told, the transmitter is over there. And first you have to connect your antennas and then use a power system. So this is a 5 volt 2 ampere adapter, and it is USB-C. So I will connect this to the wireless video transmitter, and once connected I will put this switch that you see here to on position, and it shows us Hollyland. So initially it shows us no video, but when the transmitter is powered on, it will show 1080p50, which I'll show you in a second. A couple of things about this particular product. This has USB video out built in. So what I mean by that is you don't want a capture card essentially to connect this to your encoder. So if you have a USB-C out, you can directly plug that to your computer or the encoder, and the encoder will be able to receive the signal. So that is a pretty good thing. Also, this has like I told, around 300 meter of straight line connectivity. That's a whole about this product. I'll also quickly show you the packaging listing. So they've shown that you have the transmitter and the receiver, the quick guide, the warranty card, the horseshoe mount, the antennas, which will be 5 of them, and finally the OTG adapter. So that's all we found in this.